Shiver me timbers, gamers. The pirate is here in for honor. This guide is going to have you playing optimally day one. We're going to go through the max punishes real quick. That way you have a nice little starting point as you figure out the character. If you want to stick around after that, I'll go through the moveset, little breakdown in case you missed the dev live stream. And that way you kind of have an idea of how to approach him and how your neutral game is going to shake out. If that sounds good, let's get into the video. All right, first things first, your guard break punish is going to be a heavy in any direction with the flintlock follow-up, which you do by any time you land a heavy, you just press the guard break button, you do a nice little back shot. And it's 20 damage plus the 5 damage from the flintlock. So there is no bonus points for throwing them into a wall first. Your heavies are 20 damage no matter what direction you choose. On a heavy parry, you have two options. You can go for a light attack, which is 12 damage. Or you can go for a zone attack if you want to be more optimal, so that's 15 damage. Both of these moves start your chains, so there's no downside to going for either of them. I recommend the light attack if you're low on stamina or if you're near a wall. The zone attack can get clipped when you're near objects, so just keep that in mind. On a light parry, you're going to go for your heavy and your flintlock follow-up, 25 damage. For your out-of-stand punishes, pay attention because there's some nuance. On an out-of-stand throw punish, you can throw any direction, do 2 heavies from the same side your guard was at the time of the throw, and then follow up with your flintlock. As you can see here, any direction works. I'm keeping my guard the same side it was at the time of the throw. I'm getting my punish no matter which way I throw them. If you do change your guard, they will recover before you get the second heavy, but don't let me catch you doing that. I will find you, all right? For your out-of-stand parry punishes, you're going to be doing a zone attack into heavy finisher, into flintlock follow-up. Now you could do a light attack instead, for whatever reason, maybe if you're near an object or something, or you're low on stamina. It is 3 less damage than the zone one, so don't lose sleep over it. But again, I think a lot of people will, or just like natural habit, go for these heavies, 2 heavies on the exhausted parry punish. So again, don't let me catch you doing that. I will find you. You will be in trouble. And if you catch your friends messing up their punishes, you send them my way. I'll talk to them. All right, you scallywags, those are the basic max punishes. So if that's all you're here for, take care. Good luck this season. Thanks for watching. For those of you sticking around, we're going to do a nice little in-depth breakdown of the moveset, get into some of the interesting tech that he has, as well as we'll go through some of the feats and perks just to round it all up. Let's go. So to start with, let's get into a little bit more detail about the flintlock follow-up, just in case anyone's confused. You get the guaranteed 5 damage flintlock follow-up whenever a heavy lands. It could be an opener or a finisher. So that's the opener, flintlock, finisher, still get your flintlock. That's what we're doing with the max punishes. Now, if your heavy gets blocked, you get a different flintlock follow-up. You grab them by the throat, and you shoot them in the chest or stomach. This bash here is dodgeable, so watch out. But this bash could also be target swapped, and it can also be done on a whiff. It doesn't have to be a block. And look at that range on there. It's pretty crazy. So you could bamboozle some people, or even target swap and throw some people off. It's 14 damage. So just to bring it back now, we have every variation of the 2-hit chain. Heavy, heavy, light, heavy, heavy, light, you name it, he's got it. Light finishers are undodgeable. Heavy finishers have hyper armor. So pretty spicy. Now he has the ability to dodge cancel pretty much anything in his kit. He could do it from openers, like so. Light or heavy doesn't matter. Even a zone attack. You can do it from finishers, like so. And he could do it from his flintlocks as well. So here's my flintlock follow-up, dodge cancel out of that bitch. My other flintlock move, same deal. He has a dodge forward heavy. That's unblockable. Only does 14 damage, but decent pressure. And because of the way you have all these dodge cancels, you can kind of throw it out when people don't expect it, at least with like the first week or two. People will likely get a little trigger happy with that one. Now, the 4 dodge heavy does have a fast GB. You can soft feint it. So that means you don't have to press the feint button and then GB. All you have to do is press the GB button during the animation. He has side dodge heavies as well. No real special properties here, other than, remember, any heavy that lands, you get that flintlock follow-up. And that counts as dodge heavies as well. Even on the block like you see here, same rules still apply. So just remember the heavy rule with your flintlock follow-ups, and you will be a step ahead of most pirates out there on the open seas. Now the pirate does have an in-chain unblockable, and gladiator mains are going to be very familiar with the input. It's basically a skewer, gang gang. So any opener or finisher can be chained into this unblockable, and the input is the same as skewer. It's going to be holding back on your left stick and pressing the heavy button. After any opener or finisher, so you see here I'm going for a finisher, I still get the skewer. I can do the skewer from any direction. Does not matter where I start the initial attack. Let's do it from the top. All good. Even zone attack. I'm out here. Now you'll notice I keep kicking him in the head, and if I'm near a wall, that's actually going to wall splat him. So let's do it one more time. I'm not doing anything after I get the skewer, and it defaults to the knee kick to the head. That's going to be guarantee you another heavy after you get the skewer. So pretty beefy 50 damage little exchange right there. Now if you aren't near a wall, what you can do is you can finish your skewer with a gunshot to the head. 5 damage, nothing crazy, but it is a chain starter technically. You can get into a finisher, or alternatively you could just kind of like dodge out of it. It basically acts like any other move that he has. So a very, very nice little mix up here. And I forgot to mention that he also has a soft feint to GB from this move. So just like his dodge heavy, his skewer also has a soft feint. So you don't have to actually feint it and go into GB. You just press GB during the animation, and you get a nice little fast flow to the GB. There's one more quick note here. He does have a running tag like so. If you do hit your opponent with it, you can lock on and follow up like any other chain starter. And it does count as a heavy, so you can get into your flintlock attack. If it does actually hit, you'll get the guaranteed 5 damage. The bot keeps locking it, so that's why you're getting your longer animation flintlock bash. Let's do a quick rundown of the feats. His unique feats are pretty spicy, so I'm sure Dominion's going to be a blast, literally and figuratively. First one, tier 1, armor piercing slug, fire a bullet, kind of a normal projectile, but it does lower the defenses of the target it hits. Pocket bomb, that's self-explanatory, just a small little AoE throw. Trick shot, now this tier 3 is interesting. It is just a normal projectile, but if it hits a target, it can ricochet to nearby teammates up through to the entire team. And it does apply bleed to the people it ricochets through. So some pretty interesting plays can be made with that thing. The tier 4 is just like a big cannon. You could think of it as like a projectile Jormungandr tier 4. You know, like the big AoE slam that knocks people down. Now, the craziest thing about the feats is that in all those scenarios that we're going through in his moveset, where I told you could do a flintlock follow-up, you can actually use his feats instead of a flintlock follow-up. So we'll get into that tech. All right, let me try and show you what the feats look like against these bots. They're a little aggro for some reason. So I'll start with the tier 3 just so you can see how it ricochets. You see that hits both of them, and they are both bleeding. They could go through more than that. Now, I'm going to show you the tier 2 real quick if they let me. There you go there. They avoided it though. Cool animation though. Now the tier 1 is just a projectile, but I want to show you guys what I mean by being able to do feats instead of your flintlock follow-up. So I'm going to do a heavy here, if they let me. I'm going to do heavy here. Oh. Do a heavy here. And I can go right into my tier 1, which is just a normal flintlock shot projectile. Very spicy. Now you could even do it with the tier 4 if you want. I do want to show you guys what the tier 4 looks like. We'll do out of lock here. You see I shoot the cannon. It's basically a Jormungandr AoE projectile. Pretty spicy. Get into some of his alternates here just so you can see the full list here. Alternate tier 1s, Tireless, Bounty Hunter. Tier 2, Bloodlust, Thrilling Comeback. Tier 3, Tough as Nails, Punch Through. Tier 4, Regenerate, Indomitable. Can't imagine you going for anything else other than these uniques. Going over his perks quickly, he is a hybrid, so he's got like a nice little variety here. Me personally, at this stage in the game, I just kind of go for some of the decent lower tier perks just to have something. So like in this case, maybe I would just go for Devour, Aegis, and Shields up. So those two can stack, and then I get extra health per kill. But this hero, he is a little stamina intensive when you are in full flow in an actual match. You know, doing the different flintlock follow-ups and all the different unblockables and stuff like that. You can run out of stamina pretty fast. So if you want to go for higher tier perks, I would go for Endurance and Fresh Focus. So that way, you know, you have a little bit more stamina regen than you normally would. But again, perks don't make a huge difference. There are some really good perks. I don't think any of these exactly qualify, but again, you really can't go wrong. I would probably just stay away from Survival Instinct and Headhunter. My fellow pirates, that's all I have for you. I hope you found this video helpful. Leave a like or subscribe if you're feeling generous. Maybe send it to a friend who needs to stay optimal out here. But I hope you have a good time this season. I stream over at twitch.tv/lightboogie, and I'll be covering the new season on here, YouTube, and over there on Twitch. So I'd appreciate if you came along with me on the journey. Thanks again. Peace out.